Hey,
We
How's
live and
everybody?
direct.
Everybody's good?
Yes, sir.
everybody's good.
Everybody doing all right?
Everybody good here, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
Considering we
I'm
ain't
a
in
little
South
hoarse,
Beach.
but I'm good.
I like
consider
to
you.
I like to say that this is how much I love the show, and I know people out there watching it. I really love this show because it's right in the middle of Sons of Anarchy, and
Ah, but DVR, yeah, like y'all don't have DVRs these days. Man.
but that would have diminished my love for the show, so I didn't really want to say that I have the DVD.
Run with it, Pete. Run with it.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's all good. I don't want to take y'all away from y'all other priorities.
No, this. I love the show.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Jason,
Uh,
how you sleeping, Jason?
You know what? You know what?
Hey, you gonna knock out on us tonight?
No, I won't. I won't knock out tonight, man.
Jay,
That
you
was
were
a
out.
rough-
My man was
Out.
like this. My man was like this.
That was a rough week.
I had to get you on that,
Rough
man.
week.
I had to get you on that.
Yeah, I won't knock out
been-
tonight, man.
Hey,
It
I've
was
been
a rough
there,
week
bro.
last week. I traveled and wasn't getting sleep. So when I was, calling in, I was just like, all of a sudden my body was like, this is the first time you've been in the room by yourself, no, not getting bothered. And it was like I hit a wall, just like,
Yep.
I've been there, man. I know.
Hey, I understand, man.
Yeah, you were out. You were out.
I was out last night, man. I'm in Jacksonville, man, and I didn't recruit from the homecoming this weekend, man. I sat down laid across the bed after I had something to eat. I watched the first quarter of the game. I was done. I fell asleep.
Oh, last night?
I was done. 9 o'clock. I was out, man.
I didn't see the second half. I was out too.
Yeah, man. It's like that sometimes.
Yeah, I sort of nodded off in the third quarter after the Packers kicked the field goal. And when I woke up, the Bears were finishing off that last 9-minute drive.
Yeah.
All of y'all saw more than I did.
I was about to say,
I didn't even see Aaron Rodgers get hurt, and he got hurt like in the first 2 minutes.
I know. Hey,
That's
I'm
bad.
I saw
was
him
watching the
get
game.
hurt.
That
I saw
is
him
hard.
get
Watching it.
hurt.
I was in it because I had a vested interest because I was like, Aaron Rodgers could conceivably beat me in the fantasy football league. So I had a vested interest. And I woke up and they were like, so-and-so, Seneca Wallace. And I was like, Seneca Wallace, who's he play for? And so I got to sleep on the couch. I was done. I had a G-Ho hangover, man.
I understand. Me too. Me
I
too.
was so tired. It was bad.
Hey, but man, let's get into the meat of it,
True,
man.
man.
Man, let's
Wow,
just start out. Let's just
crazy.
start out with the big topic, man.
Shit might be the only topic.
It could be only topic, man. Richie Incognito, man, and Jonathan Martin, man. I'm just being a Dolphins fan. I'm just like sitting back. I told somebody the other day. I said, it'd be nice when my SportsCenter app goes off and it actually shows stats and actually shows scores, and not an update on every line or every text message or every voicemail about this damn story, man. But I'm just gonna leave it open, man. I don't care who jumps in on this, man. I don't have any words about
Man,
it.
Deon,
Any words.
Deon, you have to start this off. Man. You have
Deon,
to
you
start
might
this
have to
off.
finish
I
it
got
off.
to hear this. I got to hear it from you
No, we all got
about
opinions.
what's going down.
Dion,
that
set it
you
off.
know.
Go ahead.
Well,
Get
first
your
of
popcorn.
number one, and I want to say this, and I want people out there that are watching this show to understand something. I'm not advocating any type of bullying. I'm not. And what I'm saying to you, what I'm going to say, and I'm going to choose my words carefully, and I always think before I speak. And so I don't want to be insensitive at any point on this subject. But I will say this, and I'm going to try to be brief with my points, and I will drive my points home. Number one, you cannot associate the term bullying and NFL in the same sentence. That I have a problem with that. Bullying is for teenagers. It's for high school. It's for lower school, elementary kids. Even on the college level, they call it hazing. In the NFL, you've heard the term hazing. Every headline, the media. Like the media has ran with this thing. They poured kerosene all over the whole bullying issues and everything. Listen, when you're 20 something odd years old, and you're making six figures or seven figures, you're grown. You're an adult. You're a grown man. You don't get bullied. Okay, the term bully does not apply to you. Okay, the term harassment does. Okay, when you're in high school, you know, and you cheat on your girlfriend, yeah, you're cheating. But when you're an adult and you're a male and you get married, you have an affair. Okay, so let's be clear about what's going on. Okay, Martin was abused, and he was abused mentally, and he was harassed. Okay, the fact that this man incognito got another grown man 6'6" forever, 6 foot forever, 300 and whatever pounds to pay $15,000 on a trip that he didn't even attend, just means that you abused this cat. You were in his head. You had everything. You had a 4-room house in his head. Okay, and
wow.
So my first point is, let's not associate bullying with this, because bullying is a serious matter, and I understand that it's a serious matter in our society nowadays. That's not what this is. This is harassment. It was abusive. It was abuse. It was not bullying. You can't bully someone and you're a grown man and you're making 6 or 7 figures. No. Okay. So, number two, Jonathan Martin didn't stand up for himself. At one point, he let these things happen, and he enabled incognito by not sticking up for himself after his rookie year. Okay, all the things that we saw happen in April in April of this year, 2013. He's not a rookie anymore. So you can't police this cat, and furthermore, we don't know the content or the context of how he said these things to Martin. Martin allowed this to happen. Richie Incognito, that's not the first time he's used the N-word when addressing Martin. That's not the first time he's spoken to him. He's jokingly talking to this man about slapping his mom and you're this, I'll slap this, and I'll slap. It's a joke to him because Martin allowed it to be. He allowed it to be. Once the media gets hold of all of this stuff and you see race in it, now Incognito is the scum of the earth, which is now it's why you have some of those guys in the locker room like, nah, we side with Incognito. You know, I heard Stephen A. Smith, he rolled out on Wallace and Cameron Wake. Okay, maybe what happened to the whole thing of saying no comment, Cameron Wake, Mike Wallace, just no comment. I'd rather not comment about this. They tell you these things from your rookie symposium. No comment. I don't have to say anything about this.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
And you know, one more point. Martin is if he has a mental issue, I'm sorry. I don't want to make light of his situation. I don't know if he has one or not. But for right now, he's soft. He's soft. He's soft. I'm not gonna walk out on my dream and all the hard work that I put in to make it to this point because you're saying something about me. That's really soft, man. You got to be kidding me. I worked my butt off to get here, and I'm a starter.
Yeah,
I'm a starter. Yeah. I'm playing. I see the field.
Right.
Okay, so maybe something is going on with this cat. Maybe he's not. Maybe he does have a little mental issue. Okay. Now, one more thing, and then I'll let you guys go. Here's the thing. Freshman year, UNC, Mac Brown. First thing he told us. One of the first things he told us in one of those meetings. Everything stays in house. We handle it in house first. Do not let the media get to it. Whatever your issues are, you take it to the leadership committee or you bring it to the coaching staff, one of your coaches. You deal with it that way. Martin didn't do that. He didn't do that. He could have gone to someone else in the locker room, hey, man, what should I do with this thing? Because it's really starting to bother me.
Yep.
Instead, he turned it into a soap opera. You know, I mean, I wish him well. If he has an issue, he has an issue, but you got to handle things in house, man. You can't let the media get a hold of stuff like this. And now, you know, Richie Incognito may never play another down. All right, I'm not condoning the use of the N word. I'm not saying that was it, but that's not the first time he said that to Martin, and Martin allowed it. So let's understand that first before we just start throwing incognito to the wolves.
That's fair. That's fair.
True that.
That's fair. Yeah.
And that's all I have.
Hey.
I'll say it let me say something real quick. I'm starting, at first, like Deon said, when the media gets a hold of this, you start thinking one way, but as the players start to talk and you hear other perspectives, you get to see it the other way. Mm-hmm. I know every grown man that heard this story the very first time was just like, who is this soft cat?
Right.
What's wrong with this dude? Mm-hmm. Who is this man? And as you keep hearing the story, I thought at first that I get a couple things. The leadership in the locker room is gone.
Yeah.
There is no leadership in that locker room. There's no captain. There's no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it. Who's on that Miami Dolphins team that run that team? Who is somebody where you say they run the team?
Hey, Jason, Jason, just to make that point, and I'll let you get back in. Last year, the leadership council was Jake Long, Reggie Bush,
gone,
and Dansby.
Gone.
All three. That's what I'm saying. All three of them have seen Pro Bowls. Two, you know what I'm saying? One's got a Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying? And all of them are gone. So just to reiterate your point, I that's why I was telling y'all before, jokingly early in the year, I couldn't name a lot of guys on that team because they transformed the team a little bit. They transformed and took out those guys. But go ahead, man.
Right, and then the thing is that there's always a guy that is the voice of the team. Yeah. And the sad thing is that as I started to think about it, I'm like, wow, what does that say about Tannehill? I mean, you the quarterback. I don't care if you're year 2. Russell Wilson's a captain.
I was about to say,
chest.
Russell Wilson, Kaepernick,
real
all
cats lead.
Yeah.
There's no leaders in that locker room. And the other sad thing is that
Andrew Luck.
Right, Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other thing that's sad is that, and what people may need to think about is, if you've heard about the background of Jonathan Martin, about who his family is, and people that are in his family, think about this for a second. People are saying, man, Richie Incognito can't come back to a locker room. He's done. His career's maybe done, likely done, and then Jonathan Martin's career could be, has more of a chance, but it's probably done because nobody will trust him in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Does Jonathan Martin even want to come back? Did he walk away knowing that?
Yeah, I've been thinking
I got
about
options. Jonathan Martin could be basically like, you know what? I'm too intelligent. I got options. I don't need to hear this mess from this dude. I don't need to hear any of this mess. I don't need to deal with any of these people in this locker room. I'm gone. That very well could be what he was thinking. Is that right? Not in my eyes.
Really
in my opinion, that's like, wow, you deserted everybody that you fought for. I'm in a fraternity, but I play sports. Even if you're in a club or just have a group of friends, you just abandon the ship.
Right.
You just leave the foxhole. You just say, I'm out.
Okay, well, devil's advocate.
You don't quit. You don't quit.
No.
Okay, but there's no there's no leadership in the locker room. So
devil's advocate here. Okay, I know it appears as if he abandoned ship, and everyone's thinking he's fairly soft. But if he wrote this out for a year and a half, and at the point where he finally was like, all right, I'm up out, which allegedly was the incident when he went to sit down with the offensive lineman, and the whole offensive line got up and left the table when he went to sit down. At that point, do you not think it's embedded in his head that the ship actually abandoned him?
Good point.
I mean, it might be. I mean, because he wrote it out for a year and a half, and with most people that I know, because I know some other people that have played in the NFL, the quote-unquote hazing, if you will, because I don't think it's bullying either, because I don't know how you bully a grown man on his job.
Thank you.
I'm thinking, I'm like, why didn't somebody bust somebody in the head? But that's just me. Because I'm thinking I get up in the morning and go to work just like you do. And okay, I know there's rites of passage and all that other stuff. Usually that lasts through training camp. You know, you pick up a tab for a meal, you bring your donuts to the meetings. They're gonna tape you up and make you dress crazy. They're gonna tape you up to the goalpost. They're gonna dress you up with wigs and thus and such. We've all seen it on Sports Center. It's funny. We've seen it. We've heard the stories when they get taped up. It's amusing. We chuckle, we laugh.
Funny haircuts and all that stuff.
All of that.
If you, but it, and the other thing, Lonice, if you active, and if you, not to, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to say, if you embrace it in a sense of saying, hey, if this is gonna make them laugh and leave me alone, hey, I don't take myself that seriously. Okay. let's yuck it up, and I'll leave it at that. I go home, brush it off. I wake up the next day, grown man, start all over.
But here's my point. Okay, he had this. This is your right to passage, your initiation, whatever the case may be. My question is, why ride that out for a whole rookie season? What are you doing? Why are you riding that out for a whole rookie season when everybody knows what the standard practice is, where it's cut off, normally how long it lasts? So you've ridden this out for the whole entire rookie year, coming back into your OTAs, back into training camp, and now halfway through your second season. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
I mean, where's your backbone? Because my thing is, yes, at the point where you got up and you're like, I'm done, and maybe, as Jason put it, it looks like he's abandoned ship. No, at that point, they have broken him down to the point where he feels like the ship has abandoned him. And I get that. And I get that. But my thing is, Jonathan Martin, where were you a year ago? Like, I mean, where was your breaking point before then? Because my thing is, and I listened to Stephen A. today too, numerous times.
He rolled out
and running down everybody. But he made a very good point. He said the average man is gonna take that, but for so long.
Right.
We're gonna handle that in the streets. So what are you doing? Because my thing is, okay, I'm bringing you donuts. I'm picking up a meal.
That's nothing.
Skippy. The minute you call me on my personal phone or text me on my phone, you have now taken that outside the workplace. You have crossed the boundaries. So I'm going to come to your house because obviously you need to talk to me one-on-one.
Okay.
And we need to have a conversation.
Okay. Three things real quick. Okay. We play football. Okay, I'll say this. When I got to UNC, we had issues. Whenever we had issues, we had fights. And we dealt with it. And then it was gone. Okay, then it was gone. We fought it out, and it was gone. Okay, so go have it out with whomever you need to have it out with in the locker room. However you have to do it.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do.
And that's what I'm saying.
And get it done.
Snatch them up, push them. Yeah.
That report's only going to last but for so long because we've all heard the reports in addition to the, quote unquote hazing stories. We've heard the reports of there was a fight in the locker room or there was a fight at practice between so-and-so and so-and-so. That's in the news for 24 hours tops.
All day. Listen.
This right here is going to ride out for weeks and weeks on end.
Because of him. Because of his breaking point. Right.
Throw him come in the job, throw him into the locker one time. Because even if you go blow to blows with him and get in a fight and lose, nobody else is going to punk you in that fashion because now they know that you will stand up for yourself and you're a grown man.
No, because here's the thing. Football players will fight each other more so than they'll fight outside of the team. We're around each other all the time.
It's like family.
It is family, and it's the most dysfunctional family because you have all kinds of different kinds of personalities that you throw all these people in a room and ask them to get along and get together and go along to get along. Come on, man! It's one of the most. It's so dynamic. It's such a dynamic that I really sometimes sit back and I'm like, wow, how did that even happen? I mean, you get 45, 54 something guys, and college is probably 60 or even more, and you put them in the locker room and say, okay, get along. With all these different personalities. Okay, number two, I believe Incognito befriended this cat. Okay, because we have a story where he got in a fight with Jordan and Incognito jumped in it. He befriended him, okay, but then he used him. He used him. He abused him. He took advantage of him.
I agree with that.
And Martin didn't have enough in him to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have enough in him to stop it. That's all that happened. That's what happened. I mean,
I guess my thing is that I looked at it from the perspective from Martin's background and how he may be thinking, because I know I was raised where I was usually the only one in the group, and the minority, usually the only minority or one of the minority most of my life. And my parents raised me to basically say, you need to fight with your mind and be intelligent, because if you fight with your fist, you're the first one going to jail, first one getting in trouble. So a lot of times, if I was in altercations or something like that, I had to outsmart somebody to prevent having to get something, from something to go down, right? But there's also times where my dad, the same person that said you got to fight with your mind so you don't get in trouble, said, look, sometimes people just don't understand that.
There you go.
Sometimes, butt whooping is the only way they understand. He said sometimes you got to just whoop somebody. And that's just how it's going to be. You may lose, you may win, but you just have to, just like Deon said, you just have to let them know, like, you're not punking me. It's as primitive as it gets, but it's been done since the beginning of time. Daniel and Goliath, David and Goliath. I mean, it's the way it is. So you have to.
Cain and Abel.
You have to establish a line to say, look, we may not get along, but you will respect me.
Exactly.
And Richie Incognito.
Right.
If if I knew he was voted dirtiest player in the NFL, are you telling me this whole locker room had no idea? Jonathan Martin had no idea? This man is smart now. And it's sad that for him to be as big as he is, and to get punked the way he did, is the only thing I'm really hoping is that he actually was fearing for his life, because you got Aaron Hernandez allegedly getting cats. When he said out we don't
Jace.
The only way
come on,
Jay.
Thought
this dude was
Jay,
hey man, do not feed into.
You can't make me believe that.
No.
You can't make me believe that. You can't make me believe that.
Just hear me out. I'm not saying Incognito was going to do anything. If we didn't believe that this grown 300-pound man was going to act this soft.
Two things. Two points. I love Stephen A. Smith and I love Skip Bayless, but I gotta tell you this. They turned this one up and they dialed it up. I'm telling you, they cooked this one and they put a little something on it. They put a little something on it.
Was it oregano?
They put something on it.
They turned it up. Hey Jay, they turned it.
They turned it.
Right.
They turned it.
I missed it, so y'all saw it. I saw
it. They turned it up. Stephen A.
I believe it. I believe it.
I agree with Deon.
They turned
it
up. Instead of using a little discretion and a little devil's advocate, and they kind of touched on it, but it was not really. It was they had to turn it up, because in no way the Incognito, that phone call, that voicemail, I believe in my heart of hearts, was not a threatening voicemail in any way.
You know what? I agree with you, Deon. I wish I could hear it, but nobody will probably hear the context.
Right. It's not. That's the way that he has been communicating with this guy, because this guy has allowed it to do this.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, and Skip Bayless yesterday. This is, in my opinion, and to quote unquote him, this is KKK racism. Listen, man. Okay, listen.
Said it.
He did not say that.
Yes, he did.
Not say
I
that.
saw it this morning myself.
Yes, he did.
I
Yes,
watched
he
the
did.
first take. He
said
did.
it.
He said it's KKK racism. Now Stephen A. Smith
Y'all are
didn't.
lying, man.
No,
Yes, I was.
but now
He took
Stephen A.
it there?
Yes, but
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, when he addressed it, Stephen A. Smith didn't really talk about the racial aspect of it because he thought it had been addressed already enough. The racial end by Chris Carter,
I'm so
Keyshawn,
disappointed.
and
Why?
and Tom Jackson. So Stephen A. Smith didn't really bring the racial spin in on it. He just talked about the fact that, as a grown man, how you gonna keep letting somebody tap your pockets, taking money, thus and such. And
Right.
and if you're gonna call me out my name and speak to me in such a fashion, why haven't you stood up for yourself?
Right.
Because
But and
and he did turn it all the way up, and he called it that it wasn't.
they turned it up.
Because
That's sad. That's
Skip Bayless said that it was hazing. Stephen A. Smith didn't say it was hazing. He said it was terrorizing. I mean, it was
Right.
It was a
Tom
lot.
Jackson went off on it too.
It was a lot. Now they all called him a racist, and I concur with all of that.
Okay,
But
listen.
I'm gonna give him all of that. But my thing is another point, which I don't think anybody's giving the coach enough for, is that how did you even? Okay, I get y'all bring the dude there because he's a good player. He's been to Pro Bowl, this and such. But how do you let that clown become
Team leader.
team leader when clearly his character is deficient?
Look, Phil,
His character. Okay, now I gotta come in.
All right, Prev, let it loose.
How does that guy get to be leader?
Okay,
Go ahead,
that's.
Prev. Go ahead.
I mean, it ain't like this dude has had issues going back to his freshman year in college.
Mm-hmm.
And,
which college?
Nebraska.
I mean, both. And then he went somewhere else.
All right.
Well, no.
Oregon.
When he went to Oregon, went to Oregon, he didn't even get a chance to suit up for a practice before they cut him loose.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah. Look,
And the whole reason he started playing
There is
football, from what his mama said.
It's because
mother-
of that anger management
His mother-
issue. Go
Look.
ahead, Fred.
I mean, you know what? We got two cast members here with some strong ties to the Dolphins organization. But I'm just going to say, you asked about the leadership. The face of the organization, as we know it, which is not the quarterback apparently, is in the general manager's office. The man who asked Des Bryant, "Is your mother a prostitute?"
Yeah.
What more would you
Get to that.
expect from a Richie Incognito at that point? So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right.
Right. So, professionalism isn't the word we're going to be throwing around here on that one. D, I agreed on the points about the distinction in bullying. That one I have had a really, really hard time accepting. He got bullied. Look, man, you said this dude has worked how hard his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
He has spent his entire life pushing other large people and imposing his will on other large people.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean that's just a fact of the matter.
Yep.
This is a,
Yep.
How does the short circuit happen here? And I got to stop at that point because we got blame the victim. Well, I don't know about blame the victim, but there was a short circuit here.
Mm-hmm.
We got a whole room full of people,
Yeah.
and this is what they do. They get paid to impose their wills on other folks.
Yeah.
And there was no proper redirection of, we're all on the same team. We impose our will on them, not on each other. Okay, we don't have that. And the dysfunction of this, I mean, I've been spending a lot of time trying to put this down to the lowest common denominator. And I got so confused I had to stop.
Yeah.
But you touched on it, with the whole no comment aspect, the guys coming out of left field. I'm with Incognito. You know what? I don't know if y'all knew Incognito, knew what he was about or whatever, but it boggles the mind that y'all are on TV actually running your mouths about this. And I was talking to somebody today about it. I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's a generational thing, but look at what we're dealing with some of these dudes here. When Mike Vick went on his neutral loaf diet a few years ago, Roddy White scored a touchdown in the Falcons game and flashed a shirt that said "Free Mike Vick." In an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got the Pouncey brothers, one of whom plays for which team?
Oh Lord Jesus.
In a club where
who are also
Aaron
half
Hern-
whatever Richie Exardino said.
Yeah, did Richie call him a half?
Right.
The point is, these guys are in a club wearing free Aaron Hernandez hats.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at these comments coming about, are they really, what are they really fighting against? Are they fighting against the notion of the media coming down on incognito, or are they fighting the notion of the media and the general public coming down on their culture?
That's a good
Or are they
question.
fighting
That's a great question.
Yeah, because you're not going to fight that backing up a Jonathan Martin. And
That's
I'm not
true.
going to sit here and say whether they should or should not defend Jonathan Martin, but they had the opportunities clear to defend Martin, and apparently that wasn't happening either. So
I don't think they respected Martin.
I don't think so either, Deon. And the crazy thing is that Joe Philbin want to get up here and talk like he run the locker room, and we obviously know he does not.
Stop
It's a
it.
shame.
That guy.
It's a shame because
You
he's
don't run a
he's never
thing,
been a
sir.
head coach, and now you know that I know
Should never have been head
I know
coach.
I'm not saying
I
anything.
know you thought
I'm
I
not-
know you
no.
thought he was a
I'm
player's
not-
guy. I never got that from him, but I think that
Jay, you can still be a player's guy and still not have control. I'm saying
Wade Phillips is.
Raheem
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raheem Morris
Yes.
too.
The bottom line is, like you said, this guy, that press conference that he had, he came off. I'm watching it, and it just seemed like he came off like, okay,
Robotic?
now I'm gonna make sure things are right. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, are you
No,
kidding
but
me?
first he gave us the whole. But in the midst of all of that, he still wanted us to believe that he had no idea what was going on,
Yeah.
Regardless of
Well,
this,
let-
and that none of the
I
other
agree.
and that none
Yeah.
of the other players knew.
Okay,
and I
wait.
just have to
Yeah.
think that's BS.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Now wait. Now, okay, Mike Ditka, he was on Mike and Mike or whatever he was on. He said the coach is supposed to know. Let me tell you something, people, and listen to me. Just listen to me carefully. There was no way Philbin knew about this. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. There is no way. No. He couldn't have. He couldn't have. Because
Maybe Richie was texting him too. He might have known.
Yo, coach, I'm gonna slap you.
Coach, I'm gonna slap you and your mama.
yeah,
That might be the way Richie communicates.
I mean,
Yeah,
Richie
that's
likes
Richie
it down that way
Well,
across the board.
But Deon, just to piggyback on that point, and Jason, we talked about it earlier, and I kind of got, I ain't gonna say upset, but I just was like, looking at Chris Carter when he was like saying when Martin came to film him, he didn't tell him, everything or whatever, the details, and Chris Carter was like, because he didn't trust him. To me, that goes back to the core of what we've been talking about. He didn't stand up for himself.
No, he did not.
If it was that big of an issue to get the coach in a situation, you lay it on him. You go ahead and just give it to him at that point, because obviously if you reach your breaking point, why are you holding it back? So to me, like you said, Jason or Prev, maybe there was something in Martin's mind that he was thinking, okay, I'm just gonna kind of lay a brick here, lay a brick there. I'm gonna walk away from it, and then come back with a complaint, or an official complaint from a statement from a lawyer or whatever the case. I'm like, dude.
But see, okay, here's that though. The official complaint, I'm so sure, was drawn up, given to him, provided by his parents. Okay, don't get it twisted, because those people, and please understand this, what they see is, okay, maybe he'll never play again, and yes, we got money, and he's smart, and he got a backup plan, but what I can do now, because if I can prove that there's a culture in the NFL, I can go ahead and hit the NFL with a lawsuit, because guess what, the NFL don't want anything messy in the press. I can get you to settle out of court.
Right.
And now I'm paid.
That goes what the Prev says. That goes back to what he said about.
And now I'm paid. So yeah, when he left, he might have been like, I'm done. The ship has abandoned me, so I'm over it. I'm finished. He got home, and his parents were like, pump your brakes. Hold on. Let's not be done just yet.
Well,
Right,
he's a
because
martyr.
he hasn't
He's
even-
going to be a martyr. Because remember, is there anything called HR in the NFL, Deon?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is HR?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Nothing.
There you go.
I don't know.
There you go, sis.
He's never.
Right?
I'm kidding.
Deon threw his bully into a locker.
He said,
Deon threw his bully into a locker. He has no idea what HR does.
Hold up. Jason said, is there anything called HR? Deon, oh my God. Oh.
I'm kidding, people. I don't
Jason,
know.
Deon threw his bully into a locker, nipped it all in the bud. There was no story to tell.
I'm
But
sorry.
now Deon's probably mad because he's thinking I should have rolled that out and I could have got a lawsuit.
Oh my God.
You know what's sad is that somebody brought this up on a sports talk show. They said this is what's going to start leading into gay athletes starting to come out. They're going to start to mix this all together. And I was thinking to myself, why are they trying to mix this in? You just putting gasoline on a fire.
Sensationalism.
Yeah.
Sensationalism,
Yeah.
because that's
But-
what you need. That's
right,
what you
but
need.
the sad-
Well, that's what I was
But-
talking
but
about
the sad-
earlier, Jason. That's what I was talking about earlier. How
Sensationalism.
all of a sudden the NFL, all these things in sports are just starting to be, I don't know, more sensitive, and the media is grabbing everything and making it a story and blowing and everything up.
That's the
But that's
world
just not
nowadays.
crazy.
man. That's the
But
There
world.
is no
something-
reaction in highlights and stats.
But call me
There's no
crazy.
reaction.
This is my thing. I don't care what the player's sexual orientation is. Are you good at the job that I pay you to do?
Yep.
Because I pay you to be entertained.
Yep.
That's
because
your
I
job.
guarantee you that Pro Bowl lineman from Green Bay that I saw it on HBO years ago, Maui, I don't know, I can't remember the name, but he was gay, and he was a Pro Bowler, and he was a beast.
Nobody
He won.
Right.
And he didn't tell anybody until years later and all that good stuff. Fantastic. And nobody didn't care.
But listen, I want to get back to one thing. I want to get back to the Martin thing, and I gotta say, and I'm gonna share two things. Okay, one, that's like nothing can make me leave something like that so many strive for and want to be,
And so many don't make it.
and do not make it.
Right.
And in your heart of hearts, Martin, you went the extra mile to get there at some points and times in your career. In high school, you did things to set yourself apart to get there. It meant something for you to get there.
Right.
Right.
You can't tell me I'm just gonna walk out on that. And you're a starter. Number two, I have a lot of ones and twos, but anyhow. Two, I had trouble catching the football. Okay, couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. I don't care if you said it was $1 million incentives. Couldn't do it. My hands refused to do it. And
I'm laughing at you.
listen, hey, I'm gonna put it out.
I know.
Responsibility. Accountability.
And you had to spoon feed yourself the truth.
I had to spoon feed myself the truth.
Did you tie yourself up first?
And I got some big mittens. Couldn't catch it. So what happened, right? So one day we're in practice. I go out in the flats. I'm gonna catch this one. Nope. Boom. So someone yelled out from the defense, Roberto Duran. Who is Roberto Duran?
Hands installed.
Took me a month to figure out who that was. I mean, didn't know. And when I finally found out, I laughed about it, and I laughed about it. But and then I was like, well, that really made me upset. But I tell you what, I know there's one thing that I am good at. I can clear out a mile for whomever's running behind me. I bet you that. So my point is, as bad as that hurt, it wasn't enough to push me out the door.
Yeah.
I worked too hard to get there. Plus you're making six figures, man. Come on. I mean,
When
Right.
you have
4 or 7.
unless you go to work and get in the locker room and they just commence to just beating you down to a pulp every day, then you got issues. But I mean, really, words do hurt, but they don't hurt that much because that pillow at night is a 6-figure pillow.
right,
You get the
Straight
rest
up.
on that.
for real.
Hey, yo, we're going to sign off, man. So everybody say goodbye. Peace out.
All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes.